Hi guys, how you doing? This is Mike Morgan from Morgan Designs. Thanks for checking out my video. Appreciate it. So just doing this is a video of a little speed painting in Photoshop, and what it's going to be is a landscape. I'm just going to quickly show you the process I do. This is just a concept for an environment that I was thinking of that would be pretty cool. It would have lots of rock formations, angular rock formations. That's kind of my thing. I like these little sharp, jagged rocks in my landscapes for some reason. And it's gonna have some perspective to it, and I know there's gonna be water. And I know it's going to be a night scene. There's going to be waterfalls and then a monumental type of mountain in the background. Other than that, I really don't know how it's going to turn out at this point. And so I know there's going to be lots of cool colors, earth tones, and so I'm basically splotching in color right here. And then I'll move the paint around a little bit to just give it a painterly look in the beginning. But I start out with those big gradations, and that kind of helps me just at least get color down right away. Alright, and so I'm figuring out where the waterfalls and the rocks are going to be, now kind of dealing with all the light facets, and then taking some line work and kind of blocking out how the shadow side of certain objects will be. And then I'll hash out more shadow work. And then I'm thinking that there'll be some green grass vegetation hitting the cool shadows there. Okay, and so the water, I'm not using white, I'm using a blue. It's going to be reflective of the sky. Some reflections of that cliff, a little more of the green vegetation. I know I don't want to go too bright on the green, but I actually end up going pretty bright. And there's more blue in grass than you would think. So to get a good color shadow, I'll use an earth tone color and then slide it over to the blue side in the spectrum. And then your background, this background monumental type of giant mountain thing, is going to be really desaturated compared to the rest of the foreground, middle ground elements. So it will have a lot of light gray blue. And then our waterfalls are going to have some white highlights and maybe a couple rocks in the middle. And then getting that dirt color into the cliff really helps a lot, and that's going to take a lot of light. That background, having those jagged elements come up from the middle ground there, really add to the space. It really makes it look like those foreground elements are really up close. Alright, and then so now we're getting some darkness of the sky. So one of my tricks is I use a very dark exterior or perimeter of the canvas, and I try to keep a light values in the middle, and that will draw you in towards the middle of the painting. So I'm getting rid of the light areas and bringing the darks back out, and back to the waterfalls again, hitting those shadows. And then little super highlights in the water. Then soften up the waterfalls. This would be the overspray or the mist coming from the waterfall. And then I have the eraser right here. And then I'm going to tend to the vegetation a little more, just get some different values of green. You know, you don't want to just use one. And then a little bit of definition on the rocks and dirt, paying attention to what facet the light is hitting it. Bringing in the same color into the cliffs, and then a blue desaturated in the background. So I know I want some brown in these cliffs, but not too much at all. I really want those to look further away than these foreground cliffs or banks. Alright, so they'll get more contrast, because I want those to look closer. Most of all these little rocks up in the foreground, those will get the most contrast, because they're the closest. A little bit of detail in the rocks, or the ground. And just enough detail in that cliff to make it look like a cliff. Okay, a little more soil colors. Alright, so now I'm thinking the stars should go in. And I'll do basically half the canvas random stars. I'll duplicate it and expand it a little, just so I don't have to paint all those stars by hand. If you expand it a little, it won't look so similar. Alright, so now I'm messing with the hue and saturation. And these are on different layers, so I can mess with, I know this fog is what I'm messing with right here. I'm trying to figure out how cool or green I want that. I decided to go very blue. So I'm darkening up the sky, almost black at the top. Same with the bottom. So that'll bring the viewer's eye into the middle of the painting. And taking your eye away from that side again by darkening the edges. Right here is where I'm going to just go in and hit those last little details just to kind of crisp some stuff up. And definitely some blades of grass, more definition on the grass. I'll just tighten it up. Get some good definition, especially in these foreground areas. Very small brush. Okay guys, there you go. There's a concept, landscape. Check us out on MikeMorganDesigns.com and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And hey, thanks for watching my video. Appreciate it.